But namaz or roza or anything, even roza or hajj, how many times have we heard, had I known I would not have gone Saudi Arabia? Oh. Because he went there as a tourist, thinking that there will be 5-star hotel. And then he condemns Arabs. Despite the money they have no civilization. They have no time sense. Well, whatever be the fact, you went there for Hajj. And Imam Ali alayhi salam in Nahj al-Balagha says that Allah deliberately placed Kaaba at a place where there is no comfort, so that one may undergo all sorts of difficulties to realize that going to the spiritual elevation is not an easy task. One who comes back and says, Ya Allah, you may accept my Hajj, and one who comes back full of stories of agony, there's a difference in approach. Is it not so? It is. One who fasts for Ramadan and says 19 hours, Ya Allah, I'm going to collect bonus from him. And one who fasts and says, Ya Allah, I have, but this is for you to accept, is different. One who fasts and thinks how to waste his time. Mulla Sahib, show us how to pass time. I don't call that passing of time, I call that killing of time. What we have got to learn is to live time and not to kill time. And so namaz, and so everything, humus or zakat or whatever be, whatever we give. One cannot write a check. Hundreds of people have come to say, Mulla Sahib, I know that this much of haqqullah is upon me. Humus. How much? Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. I'm telling you, Mulla Sahib. Is that all right? Oh, it's a secret. Now, right. Hath chalto nathi. Hath chalto nathi. The hand does not move. Why? Because there is value upon that money. He is thinking that without this, there is no value in life. If I am worth some thousands or millions of sterling, then I am something. That means if I am accosted by people, salam alaikum set, or people just try to leave away when I enter because of my mapesa, or wherever I am, even if I am foolish, people say, Ana jao dayo joyo nati. Even if I speak rubbish and talk shop, because of the money, people say he is the wisest man ever born on earth. And with all the ugliness I have, people say, Ana jao ruparo joyo nati. Simply because of money. And this is what worries me, that I can only achieve a status if Allah says, قُلْ لِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةِ جَمِيعًا. Izzah is for Allah. He gives izzah, not money. Because if that is the value which is transitory, then where that which is transitory passes over, what happens? A man who was multimillionaire yesterday, when he came here, we all stood up. When he spoke, we all voted for him because of money. M-O-N-E-W, N-E-Y. I always talk of double because it's money after all. But then a phase comes when the money has fizzled out. Loss after loss incurred. The man is now penniless. Now he comes. He comes in the same society, among the same people. Nobody looks at him. Nobody offers him a chair. Nobody tells him. If he talks, people say, wait. Sit down. You have lost your senses together with your money. Why? I have seen this with my own eyes, and you have seen. You have seen, and all of you have seen. What happened? The value was transitory. When that disappeared, the man also disappeared. Allah says, I shall give you that izzah which will not disappear, because it is not going to be something plus you. It is going to be you, yourself, whether you have money or you don't. When the Prophet started teaching this, and the people gradually realized, then the Prophet said that this is the life which is more important, and you are preparing for a life to come, for a life hereafter. There is going to be a continuity. He has said this, and in Surah Yasin, فضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم. We read every day. قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم. One man came while the Prophet was sitting and he was teaching this thing. Of course, the Prophet taught in very simple terms because people took time to understand, to comprehend the subtle meanings. One man came there, in his hands there was a rotten bone of a dead person, rotten. He must have excavated from some very old grave. Muhammad is sitting together with the Sahaba and he said, look at this bone, and he crushed it with his hand. It was immediately powder. And before the Prophet and all of them sitting, he just threw the powder in air and said, Man yuhyi al-'idhama wa hiya ramim. Who is going to give life, reanimate these bones which have already been crushed? That means he was challenging the teaching of the Prophet that this life is meaningless. You are going to be born, grow, die, perish. Finito. This is what those people teach us who have no purpose in life, that is leading us to live hedonic life. Means whatever pleases you is good. That means it may please you to fornicate, to commit adultery. It may please you to drink. It may please you to gamble. It may please you to usurp somebody's right. It may please you to fill your tummy at the expense of somebody else. It may please you, therefore it is right. This is a philosophy of hedonistic philosophy, which took us to an extent, human thinking, that we were told even thieving and stealing was good. Why? Because if there had been no stealing, people would not have learned how to protect their property. Naturally, you would not lock your car if there were no thieves, would you? So who gave you sense of protection? A thief. Therefore he is good. I am talking from the books of philosophy. I am not concocting my stories. This is how we were told things, that we were told to believe in such things so that everything that pleases you is good. Because you are going to live here for few days, few years and perish. There is no purpose in it. And the Prophet says that there is a purpose in it. You are living here for a purpose. And then there is a continuity into the hereafter. Therefore see that you don't commit sins and you don't displease your Creator. And that you live a valuable, purposeful life. There is a vast difference in these two. And when he said this, the Prophet got a revelation, wahi immediately, which is in Quran. Qul, O Prophet, tell him, يُحْيِيهَا الَّذِي هُوَ أَنْشَأَهَا أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. I mean, you are talking of a bone, crushed bone, which is powder, and you say, who will give life to it? Tell him, at least there is some matter in your hand. You are asking about a matter. Although it is a bone, but it is a matter. What about he who created when there was no matter? You are asking about reanimation of something which is a dead matter. But he created you from naught, from something which was not there. Who can create from no matter can definitely create from a matter. This is what the answer Allah gives